Hello and welcome to Bear Beer Reviews. Unfortunately, due to Massachusetts state law that we didn't realise and probably should have researched, you can't send beer via mail from Massachusetts, so we're unable to ship quite a lot of beer back home. We're going to try and take back as much of the really rare stuff from Vermont and a couple of the zombie dust back as well, but it does mean we've got a nice selection of beers to go through today. So we're going to do a back-to-back tasting, just sample some. I mean, it's all in the name of fun, isn't it? So we'll start off first with, this is Jack's Abbey's Kiwi Rising. It's a double IPL, India Pale Lager. It's actually really pretty on the inside because it's got, the yeast is all kind of settled down, it's all flowing through, but I think it looks quite good. Obviously with the name Kiwi Rising, it's a lot of New Zealand hops in this one, so I'll crack this fella open. The world's worst bottle opener. And we should pour it on out. It is a lager, like I said, so it's going to have a lot of carbonation, I think. And indeed it does have a lot of carbonation. There you go, what about that for a head? But anyway, you can see the beer underneath. It is wonderful straw colour. It's quite, I think it's quite yellow actually. It almost looks like lemon drops or something like that. Lovely sudsy head on the top of it as well. A ton of carbonation. Like I said, this glass is nucleated, so it's going to have a lot of carbonation anyway. So we'll get a nose on it. Oops. I think it actually smells quite musty. It definitely smells very tropically, very resiny, but it smells a little bit funky. It smells a little bit off in a strange sense. I'm not sure if I totally enjoy the aroma. I think Mum would probably agree with me when she gets to smell it. If it does smell very hoppy but almost too much, it's gone to the point of vegetableness. Slightly like rotting vegetables, which makes it sound wholly appealing. So cheers everyone, it's the first beer of very many today unfortunately. Yeah, it really tastes like vegetables. That's not very pleasant at all. It's 8.5. Oh, what a shame! This one we might not finish. Oh, what a shame! 8.5%. Oh, it's really vegetable. It tastes like it's been sat on a shelf for God knows how long, and it hasn't been. I don't think it was in a craft beer shop, and it's been. We had it in the fridge for a little while in here. It just tastes really vegetable-y. Lots of carbonation. The mouthfeel's quite good, but the vegetable hop flavours will power it, and it's not good. It doesn't taste good. No. Moving swiftly on. I'll do a review in a second or two. Oh, right. We'll use a different bottle opener. We'll use a harpoon one. We'll see if this is any better. Right, this one I was really looking forward to actually. This is Gotterdammerung. It's a Stone's 17th anniversary IPA. It is brewed with only German hops. But it's an IPA, so obviously it's got, we usually see German hops using more things like lagers and bits and bobs. They're sometimes not the most flavoursome hops for IPA, should we put it that way, but this is using some new strains and variants that are meant to be quite different. I think it's got a hop called Mandarin in, which strangely enough is meant to taste like mandarins. So, pour this fellow out. And this one is a lovely apricot colour. A little bit deeper in the straw, maybe like a light amber kind of colour. There's a lovely little bit of a sudsy head on the top of it there as well. There's a nice level of carbonation. Just double check what's my ABV on this. This is 9.5, so this one's pretty strong, kick in the teeth. And unfortunately the writing is so small on the back I can't actually tell you what hops are in it. Oh, doesn't matter. Oh, there we go, found them then. Magnum, Mercure, Opal, Smagard, Strissel, Svalt, and something else. So let's get a nose on this, give it a smell. Oh, it smells really super sweet. It smells like caramel and almost like candied orange peel. It's definitely on the orange front, really juicy ripe oranges. And a lot of candy sugar I can smell in it too. It smells very nice, it smells almost Belgian-esque actually, but I'm not sure if it uses Belgian yeast or not. It's nice and cloudy because it's bottle conditioned. Cheers everyone. And that's much more like it. That's much better hoppy beer. It almost tastes exactly the same as the nose profile. It's a nice level of caramel and sweet and almost candy Belgian sugar flavours, and it all is kind of standing over on top of a nice orangey, really, really deep orange, maybe like a blood orange that's sweet. It's absolutely gorgeous, actually, really like it. There's a nice level of bitterness to it as well. The mouthfeel is nice and chunky, actually. I'd probably say it's even more than medium, maybe medium heavy in terms of body, which is nice. There's a really good aftertaste, the kind of candied orange flavour which continues all the way through it. And it sips far too easily. And again, lovely lacing on the glass as well. It's really pretty in your glass. That one I like a lot. Moving swiftly on because we have no time. And the last one we're going to try here is Maine Beer Company's, I think it's so easy, yeah, their Hoppy Happy Amber Ale. This fellow is 7.2%, so it's a bit lighter than the other two, but it's darker in colour, so I thought I'd try it last. Crack it open. Now we've had a couple I think we had one by them earlier in this series of reviews. I can't remember actually, I think we did. But Maine Beer Company have got quite a good reputation. And I believe the one we had, or one I had, I really enjoyed actually. So there you go, it is definitely amber in colour. It's it's pretty cloudy inside, but again I'm not sure if it's bottle condition or not, if it's hop haze. It's got a slightly off-white head, maybe just about touching 2 fingers on there, but it's lovely, lovely thick and creamy head on it. So we'll get a nose on this one. Oh, it's exceptionally hoppy as well. I think I've chosen Hoppy Happy and Hoppy to start the day. This one's, keep dipping my nose in, this one's a much more traditional American grapefruit and pine and resin sort of aroma, which I don't think it's trying to be anything but. And I can smell the crystal malt smell. It's distinctly toffee-esque. But again, a wonderful smelling beer. It's absolutely beautiful. I love beers that lace properly. So cheers. Interestingly, this one doesn't have as much of a crystal malt flavour as I was expecting. A few that I've had in the past, namely 5 Points, have been really, really strong with that toffee flavour. It's been really at the forefront, and the hops they've kind of amped up to equal it. This one's a lot more reserved, despite being quite a bit stronger than the 5 Points that we had. So it's still got the crystal flavour, but it's a little bit more reserved, and the hops play more of a forward role. You can taste the citrus and the pine and the resin. It's got a nice solid bitterness beside it all, but I think it probably could have pushed it a bit more with malt flavours. If you're going to do an amber, it just needs to, I think the malt flavour needs to play a definitive role in the beer as well. So in terms of ratings, Kiwi Rising, not good. That needs to go back to the designing board, I'm afraid. I won't even bother rating that. Just something's wrong with that bottle. I'm not sure what it is. It's not good. Gotterdammerung Stone Centenary Anniversary IPA. That is lovely. Considering it's using different German hops and it's a German IPA, it tastes borderline American. It tastes much more American in design, even though it doesn't use the hops. That's really interesting. That's a good 9 out of 10. I enjoy that one a lot. And this Hoppy Red Amber Ale, I think I'll give it a 7.5. It needs a few tweaks. It's definitely nice. Definitely could drink some, but it just needs a little bit more of the malt. It just lacks it. The mouth feels good, but it needs a bit more crystal in it, I think. I know you don't normally hear me say that, I'm not a huge fan of crystal malt. But there we go, the first 3 reviews from our monster day of finishing off all the beers that we can't take home with us. Please like, favourite, comment, subscribe to the next Bear Reviews. Cheers! Welcome back to Bear's day of drinking all the beer that you can't take home with him. We've got another few beers, we're going to have to go through quite a few. This one I saw and I love the name of it. This is Element Brewing Company's Plasma Sake and IPA. I haven't done any research on it, so I don't know what it is. Actually it says Sake IPA style beer brewed with pure water, brown rice, malted millet, generous amounts of Aramis hops. It's a gluten-free beer, and something about getting my shoe numbers out of sake. I don't know. Right, let's cut this open. Oh, look at that. It's a proper cork and everything. I have my bottle opener ready. I can cut this when we do an idea on it. Huzzah! Oh, that was pretty easy actually. I was expecting it to be a lot more difficult. Right, we'll pour some out into my Hill Farmstead glass and we'll see what we've got. It's certainly pretty fizzy. And it's quite a typical IPA colour. It's a little bit lighter actually. It's almost kind of straw coloured. A lot of carbonation in that. Nice, just a small little bit of head, and I don't think it's going to lace very well. It does seem to be sticking on the sides a tiny bit, I guess. But lots of carbonation in it. Looks nice. Get a nose. It smells quite boozy on the nose actually. What percentage is this? I keep forgetting to say percentages with these. I think I'm right in saying it's 9%. Yes, it is. So it's a strong fellow, and it smells it. It smells boozy. Not a lot else really. I guess you could say it's spice, but the nose is just getting hit with alcohol, to be honest. So let's go and give it a try. Cheers. Not really impressed. Not really impressed. I've had one other sake beer by Hitachino Nest, and it was the same sort of deal. It just they tend to be quite watery. Very fizzy, and I see what they're trying to do, trying to get some body back with the fizz in it. But the rest of it is just a wash of just a kind of green hop bitterness. It tastes a bit corny, really. It tastes a bit like corn, and not much else at all. It's a shame, but yeah, not for me. Not for me. There's a big booze kick as well. Not sure about that one. Okay, next up, heading down the line, we have a rather special one that I was hoping to take home and age for as long as physically possible. This is Black Metal by Jester King. I had their El Cedro, which is a cedar aged saison not so long ago. This one is an Imperial Stout, fermented with Brett, and I think it's aged in something. They always tend to age theirs in some sort of barrel. Can't see from the looks of it. But it's a Farmhouse Imperial Stout, 9.3%. 44 IBUs. Crack it open. I always like the bottle tops as well, which is why we're going to keep this one. There we are. Pour it out. We use a nice tulip for this one, I think. And that is pretty fizzy to say the least, but that's probably one of the darkest coloured heads on a beer I've ever seen. It's almost as dark as the beer is. It's like a milk chocolate colour, and the beer itself is absolutely pitch black as well. Loads and loads and loads and loads and loads of head on it, all tiny little bubbles. Can't see anything in the way of carbonation. Oh, there's a lot of roasting chocolate, a bit of coffee on the nose as well. Can't really pull out anything from the Brett yeast, but maybe it'll come across in the palate a little bit more. So cheers everyone, let's give this a shot. It's a pretty competent stout really. It's roasty, there's a bit of coffee to it as well, there's a nice bit of chocolate too. I can't really see if there's anything else in it really. Like I say, it's Farmhouse, so I've assumed they used Brett yeast and got something interesting. But it's a pretty competent Imperial Stout, tastes quite nice. Nice bit of warmth in the stomach as well. But what's lacking in this a lot is body. It's very, very watery. Another one that seems to be very, very watery. It just doesn't have the staying power or the chunkiness that I'm used to from Imperial Stouts. There is a tiny bit of sourness on the back end of the palate. It's not particularly bitter, it's more like a sour flavour, so perhaps that's the yeast character coming through. But I wonder if they... In fact, it does say they give the final gravity on it. Awkward holding it with one hand. The final gravity is still 10-15, so it's still got a little bit of residual sugar in it, but it tastes like it's got a lot lower final gravity, like there's not much there to give it some body. So, a little bit disappointing again, unfortunately. Although this one tastes nice, it just lacks in other departments. And finally, in a nice little ceramic jug that we've got here, 750ml one, we've got Okra Station by Rogue. This is their Barleywine style ale. This one is 11.5%, it's as strong as anything. It's the 2012 vintage, so I guess it's a year and a bit old. Just had a little bit of time to sit around and get some age on it. Let's crack this fellow open. I love the growler style flip top as well, so we might be able to take this one home and reuse it for some homebrews or something. Interestingly, around the rim There's a bit of yeast, but that's not entirely a problem. So I should pour some out. I'll only do a small bit of this one. And it is a lovely, that's called, pretty much called that an amber colour. Nice little red twinge to it. Maybe ruby even, I guess. And there's a nice slightly off-white head, almost orangey looking head on it as well. There's a lot of carbonation in it too. It looks pretty good. Get a nose on it. Oh, it smells of toffee, of caramel, of nice rich sugar, demerara sugar, things like that. Really sweet. Very, very sweet on the nose. Oh, it smells like, oh, it almost smells like malt extract. It smells that sugary. It does smell good though. So cheers everybody. Yeah, and it's just as sweet when it comes through too. Lovely rich layers of different types of sweet crystal and caramel. Lots of different sugary flavours coming through. Lots of golden syrup almost, I'd say. Caramel, toffee, all those, all mixed together in a lovely glass. It has got quite a defined bitterness at the back end as well, so it just reminds you that there is a little bit of something to stop it from being too sweet. And the mouthfeel on this one's wonderful, as compared to the other two. This one's so much chunkier and just coats the mouth a lot better and stays around. It makes you feel like you're actually drinking something rather than a glass of water, which is nice. Yeah, I like that one a lot, but I will say it's not the best barley wine we've tried so far on this trip. So I think I'll probably, in terms of ratings, unfortunately this Sake IPA just does not hit any notes for me at all. I'll struggle to give it a very good rating at all. Sure, I'll give it a 3. It doesn't lack anything. It doesn't have any IPA characteristics, doesn't have any characteristics of sake. It's just watery and very boozy. Not a fan of that. Black Metal, after the last one we had, which I gave a 9.5 I think, and I loved, this one's pretty disappointing, lacks body. I think I'll give it a 6.5. It just needs something else. It tastes watery, and it puts me off when I try an Imperial Stout with no body to it. And the Old Crustacean, I think I'll give this an 8 out of 10. It's pretty good. I really enjoy it. Loving the bottle. Definitely take that one home. It's a good example of a barley wine. Good example of barley wine. So there you go. That's the part 2 of my boozy day. Finishing all the bottles off, and until the next set of bottles. Cheers. Last 2 beers in that epic beer tasting day. So we saved two stonkers for last as well. We've got 50/50 Brewing Company's Eclipse aged in oak barrels Imperial Stout. This one's brewed with honey. It is from, I said bottle run 1st of 2013, so I guess this is January 2013, you can correct me if I'm wrong. So it's had a year's worth of aging. It did have some nice wax on the top that we had to absolutely butcher to be able to get off. It was a right pain in the backside. And we packed our glasses away, so I'm down to some titular little ones. Pour this fellow out. There we go. I didn't say what percentage it was again. This is 11.9%, so it is a ridiculously strong little bottle, this one. Gorgeous pitch black colour. Nice, small little, just less than a finger, tan head or khaki head going on there. Delicious lacing as well on the sides of the glass, which I always like to see. Get a nose on it. Oh, I always like Imperial Stouts that have been barrel aged, You just get this intense burst of vanilla and particularly like a woody, oaky smell as well. And they just seem to sweeten the entire nose smell. You don't just get roasted and coffee notes, which we always say when you come to stouts or even chocolate. You get an intense vanilla and woody smell. And this one, like I said, it's brewed with honey, and you get honey as well. Oh, it really smells absolutely delightful, this fellow. So cheers everyone, let's give it a try. Oh, it's absolutely wonderful, yeah. You really can taste the oak tannins, you can taste the vanilla, you can taste honey in abundance, you get a bit of roast coming through, you get some chocolate coming through, you get a nice strong bitterness. It's got a delicious, really velvety, sleek mouthfeel as well, nice and chunky, but fizzes and effervescent on the tongue. I would suggest that a year's worth of aging is probably quite good because it seems to have mellowed really nicely, but I think if you age this for even longer, if you age it for as long as you could, it would just come out so super sleek and smooth, and all the flavours would blend together so well. It is amazing, it really is great, it's absolutely lovely. But this one's an ager, and as you can tell by this bottle that was a year old that we picked up from the Hunger Mountain Co-ops, you know, it's probably deliberately done so. Put that one to the side then, and the last one, we're not going to have an American one, we're going to have an Icelandic one. This is Lava by Overshot Brugghus. I really wanted to find them when we were in Iceland last year, but wasn't able to. So lo and behold, you're in America and you find it. So I thought we'd better save this one to last because it's not technically American. This is a smoked Imperial Stout. Let me see what percentage this one is. It is 9.4%, so it's nowhere near as strong as the other fellow. Let's pour it out into a glass and see what we've got. Oh, nice glugging sound on this. And in terms of colour, it's pretty much the same as the last one we just tried. Pitch black again, nice little tan head, but you've got a little bit more of a head going on there, and it laces just as well as that too. I'd say the head's a little bit darker if anything, and perhaps it's a little bit lighter in colour, just slightly. Okay, in terms of the nose, does smell smoky, does indeed smell smoky. Smoked bacon in abundance. But there's also a nice little bit of roast behind it, there's some chocolatey sweetness to it as well. And there's a little bit of booze on the nose too, a little bit of booze coming through, which you didn't seem to get with the 50-50, it just seemed a bit smoother. So cheers everyone, I'll give this one a try. And this is another one that's got an amazing mouthfeel actually. This is just as chunky, just as effervescent and fizzy on the tongue as well. Feels great when you're drinking it. I'm just interested to see when this one was bottled, but I don't think it says. No, unfortunately it doesn't say, but I'd have to say this one's probably had a bit of age to it as well. Mainly because the smokiness is very well blended in. It's not intensely bacony, which you can get, and it could be quite a novelty with some beers. It has got a lot of roast and a lot of chocolate in it, and a little bit of coffee flavour too. And the smoke malt just sits there over the top of everything and just gives a nice. I'd almost say it's more of a beachy flavour. It's not particularly smoky bacon. You can almost taste the wood a little bit more, which is nice because when you get smoked malt, sometimes it just tastes like bacon, and it's just very overpowering. This one's wonderfully well blended, super duper smooth. Lovely. I like this one a lot. So there we go. In terms of ratings for these two, they're both absolutely wonderful examples and completely counter and parallel examples of what you can get with an Imperial Stout. One's slightly stronger, one's slightly weaker, one's got smoked malt in, one's been barrel aged and it's got honey in it. 50-50, this has got to be a 9.5. It's absolutely epic, it's brilliant, it's mind-blowingly intense in flavours, it's lovely, I enjoy that one a lot. Overshot Brugghus would probably give it a nice 9 out of 10. It's definitely getting there in terms of in flavours. I like it a lot, I do like it a lot, but it just doesn't reach up to the lofty heights of the 50-50 I've just tried, which is probably its downfall. So there we go, final 2 reviews from America, unless there's something wonderful at the airport, and several beers demolished in one day, which is always fun. So please like, favourite, comment, subscribe, and until the next beer reviews, cheers!